Well, hello there again, friends and family. And as you can see, we're out in the focus again today. And it's a bright and beautiful day it is. And it's nice and toasty warm in the car. Not so warm and toasty outside. It's around 12:30 in the afternoon. And it's 45. It's supposed to be 51 by now. And we got down to 26 this morning by 7 o'clock. And you know, something that's been rather unusual, like I've told y'all before, we've been in the 20s more this year than any year I can remember for the past 25 going on 26 years now. And that, but daffodil blooms survived. I was amazed at that because it had went down below freezing around 12:30, so it was in the 20s all the way till 7, and then we started to warm back up again, and by 8 we were up to a whole whopping 31. And like I say, right now it's 45. Breezy. Not sure what the wind chill is, but I gotta run by the bank, so I thought, okay, take y'all along if you want to. Y'all can all jump on in, buckle up, be nice, and we'll take a ride. And where we're going is some place of concern for many of the residents in my small town. We got something new coming to town, and many aren't too fond of it. And I will talk about that, and we'll talk about my thoughts about it. And maybe you'll share your thoughts below in the comment section of the video. So like I said, jump on in, get buckled up. Let's head her on down the highway once again. And maybe the sun will stay out of your eyes there for a little bit, maybe. I know it will once we get on down here ways. An old car, she's sort of creakling and a crackling, and that, it's cold too. Ooh, but it's just such a pretty day for a drive. Oh, what was it? Back on this past Saturday we all took a ride. Yes, we did. And I know many of y'all like it. Lord knows I do too. I think that's when we all had that little treat there, you know, from Jack's. Fried chicken, some green beans, mashed potatoes, and gravy, and biscuits. They make a mighty fine biscuit as well. Not as good as mine, but then it's just not as much work. Not that I just go to Jack's and buy biscuits. Woo! Focus is just like me. It don't much care for this cold. And rightfully, I didn't let it warm up a whole lot before we all took off. Okay, we're here at the Banco. I believe they're open. Maybe they all ain't at lunch. Now, back in the day, most of y'all can remember, banks used to close for lunch. Everybody go to lunch, everybody come back, they'd reopen the bank. Sometimes that darn right inconvenient it was. Oh, let's see what they say here. Yep, they appear to be open. All we're going to do is put in that old government stimulus check, okay?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing today?
I'm good.
Hey, I was wondering, do y'all have those check wallets?
Do we have what?
The little wallets you put your checkbook in?
We do not. We have like a check register, but well, let me see. Just a second.
Okay, thank you, ma'am, because mine's broke. Yes, ma'am, where it slides down the checks.
Yes, I got you one.
Thank you, ma'am. And I've
Welcome.
got a check order there too for y'all.
Okay. All right, and is this address on this check still good?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
All right, and do you want them sent here or to the bank? Or over to your house?
To my house, please.
All right, and what number do you want it to start on?
Doesn't it have it on that thing?
No, this one's just the old Prime South one.
Yeah, because I can't remember what my last check I just wrote was.
Okay.
So you can send it back and I'll get that and I'll come back.
All right, that's fine.
Okay. I should have brought my checkbook. I
All right,
forgot.
there you go. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, it wasn't all successful. We wanted to put in a check order, but I couldn't remember what my last check was, because I just did write out the last one I had. But I can ease on by here tomorrow and pick that up. At least I got me a new check wallet. I've been meaning to do that. In fact, Lord knows sometime last year, early last year, I put in a check order and I asked them to send me one of those check wallets. And to my surprise, they didn't. But I got me one today. Got out a little bit of money from that stimulus check, just so we'd have some money in case we saw something we needed today. Didn't get much out. I was needing to put some back in, because that's all I do anymore is take out, take out, take out. There was a time when I put more in than I took out. You know, back when I was working. Woo, it's a pretty day. Sure hope y'all enjoy the ride. Now, I know I said we was going to a place to check on something. And yep, it's become a controversy here in my little old town in Deep South, because something new's coming to town. And you would think we'd all be happy about that. Well, I have my own opinions on it, and surely, like always and all things now, you know, half are okay with something, half are not. And you might be asking yourself, well, hey, what is it? Well, starting this year, just 6 miles from my house as the crow flies, not as we driving right now. And I forgot to even check those speedometer to see how far driving it is. But anyway, a little over 6 miles from the house is going to be one of 3 new mega prisons that the state of Alabama is building. Yes, sir. Right outside our little small town, 6 miles from the house. Now you might be thinking, oh my God, that's terrible. Well, maybe it was sometime back in the past, you know, when all the prisoners used to be escaping all the time and doing all that kind of mess. But these modern day mega prisons, you hardly ever hear of an escape. In fact, I can't remember one down here in Alabama happening. Now, we do have, on an extremely rare occasion, an escape from a county jail, or maybe a city jail. But I can't remember one, you know, in my memory. I mean, I can way back in my childhood, you know, back in late 60s. And I can remember one in the very early 70s, but after that, I just don't remember anybody escaping from our prisons. Oh, hope light stays yellow. Thank you, Lord. So, you know, people are all upset. You know, it's going to compromise their safety, compromise the safety of the children. It's going to distract from our little town. People ain't gonna want to come here. Well, Lord, our little town's been in population decline ever since I moved here. We ain't grown not a bit. We've been in the negative every year. And what people don't realize, this prison will bring jobs. It will also bring business to the community. It sure will. They need things that we can supply them right here. People got to eat. They got to eat lunch. People will move here that work at the prison. Now, I'm sure some will commute from surrounding communities. You know, Montgomery, the capital city, Tuskegee, Auburn, and what have you. Because, you know, you got to admit, Americans commute. Lord, I know the truth of that. I did it for years. Whew. I'm glad I'm not doing that every day again. An hour and a half. You know, the last factory I helped manage, albeit I was on second shift in the first shift, as the case may be most of the time. That was the shortest drive I'd had in, probably 15 years, and it still was, 20 minutes, 25 most days. That sure did beat hour and a half to hour 45 minutes each way. And I've had commutes up to 2.5 hours. And that sucks. Especially when you're on a 10-hour shift, 12-hour shift. Well, gas now constant, $2.29. Where will it go from there, folks? We're heading on out town towards the south, $2.29. We'll be passing right by one of the companies, well, the company that I originally came down here to work for. And I did work there for 9 years until the ownership changed. And I just really didn't agree with some of the things they were doing. And I am a man of principle. Sometimes that's hurt me, but I haven't cared. Over there to the left used to be a cotton gin. I think it still is, a Taylor gin. Cotton used to be really big down here. And it still is, somewhat. Not so much. Not like it was. Yep, right there on the right, Neptune Technologies. That's where I came to. I was their senior process engineer. Yeah, it looks like this little Nissan up here is going to be turning the way we're going to be turning. Because we're going to head her on down what's known as Rifle Range Road. I'm not sure why. Because as far as I know, since I've been living here, there ain't no rifle range. Maybe there was back sometime in history. And we're going to be driving by an old plantation. Yeah, one that goes all the way back to the Civil War and before. Then we'll also be passing by what was at one time a large commercial nursery. I haven't been down this way in a few years. I'm not too sure it's a nursery anymore. We'll see. Now where we're at, and you might notice we came on down from the ridge, and we're down here in the lowlands, or what's known as the coastal flats. And you can see from the big bulges of the trees on either side, yep, it's pretty swampy right down here. A lot of standing water, especially during the rainy season. And that's coming. Of course, we have had a abnormally wet winter so far, as well as a cold one. Now this will sort of give you another view of Alabama, because you know there's still some ups and downs and rolling around, but nothing like there is from the ridge going up north and that. In fact, I don't know if y'all caught it, you know, they got a sign up there, stop the prison, no prison in Tallahassee, block the prison, and that. Now, that plantation is right up here to the right, and if I can, I'll try to pull in up here and see if I can get it on camera for y'all. They're renovating all of this. Nope, can't see it. Darn it. But you can see maybe, if you look way on out there, a little cupola. Very top of it. And I guess we'll head on up here, turn around. Maybe on the way back, I can pull off the side of the road and show it to you. Of course, it's going to be way off in the distance. And so far, I ain't got shot, so we good. Because I'm definitely on private property, but it didn't say do not enter. Now, you know, right here in front of me, way out there in the distance, you can see a older white farmhouse, several chimneys, pole barn, and all that area. Well, that's where they hold a Civil War reenactment, and that's what this whole complex is used for now. See that pond there? And I used to be involved in it because I was part of the historical society. Me and the wife, she liked doing those things. Excuse the cell phone. They probably call and check on my car warranty. I know if I answer it, it'll either be that, or it'll be to try to sell me one of these here Medicare supplement plans, because I guess the whole world knows Mr. Tom is up for his Medicare soon. Now, what you're looking at across this way there from me is that commercial nursery I was talking about. And this spring, I'd like to stop in there and see what's going on, if they'll sell to the general public. I'm not sure. Never tried. But you can see everybody down here living got stop the prison signs, block the prisons. Well, I'm going to tell you what. Back when I was a teenager, I think it was 1971, Mom and Daddy finally bought a real house. We had lived in a trailer up to that time. Always nice ones. Got a new one from time to time. But they bought a small farm and a house. And then about a year later, sure as the world, Alabama decided to build a new prison right there just outside the community of East Limestone. In fact, it's called the East Limestone Correctional Center. Boy, there's a bunch of hay over there. Now, I'm not sure if these signs are showing up, but they're just everywhere. No prison in Tallahassee. Well, unfortunately for them, the governor signed the bill to start construction. Sure did. Now, I'm not sure right around here where it's going to be at, but it's right around this area here. I'm looking for Taylor Road. that should intersect Rifle Range Road here. And if we take it, it should take us back out to 229 State Highway. You know, the one we was on before we turned on Rifle Range. But since I ain't seen Taylor Road yet, I think I still got a ways to go. But you can see there's some houses out here, not a whole lot. And yeah, I can understand they don't want it. They don't want it right beside them. But it's a little late for that now. I actually think it's going to be a benefit to the community. And I think in time, they'll all see that. Now, like I said, you know, they're also worried about their property being devalued. But here again, ain't nobody coming here. Or they haven't for 25 years, you know, maybe one or two like I did. Other than that, not so much. So property values here have been stagnant. And I'll tell you what, because I keep track of them. There are houses that I know have been for sale for 10 to 15 years. Yep, people just can't sell them. And they'll drop the prices on down. I mean, you know, if you want a fairly nice place, well built, at prices you won't believe, then we definitely got them here. I mean, mill houses, you used to be able to pick them up for 35, you know, well, I mean, depending on condition, anywhere from 20 up to 35,000. And some investors went in, bought up a bunch and remodeled them and did, you know, a fairly fine job. And now, you know, they're going in the low 50s to mid 60s. But that's still a good deal. Now I'm thinking it's off here to the left, all these open fields, where that prison's going to be. So I'm not sure how that's showing up, because there is a tree line right there at that fence line. Yep, I'm thinking that's it. Surely, yep, because I think Taylor Road's coming on up. So it's over here on the left. It's supposed to be, I think, 349 acre site. That's pretty big, folks. I'm not worried about it. And Lord knows, y'all don't need to be worried either. I fear some people in the town far more than I would fear chances of a prisoner getting out of a modern day mega prison. Yep, there's Taylor Road. So yep, this is where it's going to be. Right along here. Or starting here. Ain't nothing but cornfields and cotton fields. That's all it's ever been. All the way back to before Alabama was a state. There's another one of those big birds that some of y'all said were turkey vultures, and I think you might have been right. Well, I know that one's a turkey vulture because he's got the white on his wings. And the way the feathers fan out on the end of his wings. But those ones that I was looking at yesterday, they didn't have that coloring as far as I could see. And they weren't quite as big as a turkey vulture. And at their wingtips, the feathers didn't fan out like a turkey vulture. So I'm not sure still. Some say they were chicken hawks. And that could be. Some said they were crows. Trust me, they were way larger than crows. And we have some pretty big crows, but they ain't that big. But you can see it's just nothing but cotton land, some corn, was planted here this year. And mostly what you're seeing is the remnants of our 2020 corn crop. Not a whole lot out here. You know, in my mind, got to be built somewhere. You just can't let everybody out. I know nowadays, you know, some people of a kind of political persuasion, you know, they want to do away with the prisons. I bet they wouldn't want rapists, murderers, and child molesters in the house right beside them. I guarantee you that would never fly. And there are, you know, some scattered homes out here, sure enough. And like I say, I can understand their misgivings. But here's one thing about the people coming here or been here in Towson. People are born here, they live all their life here, and they die here. Now some do manage to leave, and some, like me, manage to wind up and make this our home. And Lord knows I never thought it would be. I thought I'd be down here a maximum of 4, maybe 5 years. Complete the job I had, and I'd be on to the next one. But I got to liking it. And I'd never lived anywhere for longer than about, just under 10 years. I only did that once else before. Most of the time it's 3 or 4. Move on. I mean, from the time we moved here in 66 till I left home in 74, that was only 8 years. Then I lived up southern Tennessee for, I guess looking back, it's probably more around 11 when I come to think about it. But we're coming on up to the state highway again, 229. Just for y'all, I'm going to take a left here in 229, go back up to where we turned off on Rifle Range Road, and I'm going to drive back down to that plantation. And that, and I'm going to pull off. And this old GoPro don't zoom much, but I'm going to do my best to zoom in on it, show it off to you. Yep, here's 229 north and south. Now you wouldn't know it, but right in front of you, probably about 50 yards off that tree line, used to be a railroad that came up from the old Atlanta-Montgomery Railroad. That is one of the oldest railroads in America and in the Southeast. Definitely in the Southeast and in America. Got ripped up during the Civil War, it did. But since I've been living here, I guess it was about 15 years back or more, they decided to, take up all the rails, take up all the timbers. They talked about making it, a hiking and biking trail. As you can see, that didn't happen. It sounded good, but never could come up with the money. And I mean, really, hiking up through here, yep, that wouldn't be too marvelous. And there on the left, just passing by Hanel. They're another Korean automotive supplier. They supply to Hyundai and Kia manufacturing plants, and I'm sure to others as well. And off there to the right is GKN. You'd be surprised to know what they make. They make parts for Black Hawk helicopters, they do. Yep. You know, the body parts, rotors, stuff of that nature. You wouldn't believe that was out here in little old Tallahassee, Alabama. And there we are, we're coming back into the city. Welcome to Tallahassee. So, I mean, actually, the mega prison site is outside the city limits. So here again, didn't have much to say about that. And like I said, the governor's already signed it into law. They'll start construction this year sometime. Not sure when. You know, I'm doing 60, speed limit's 55. And I got a car just wanting to breathe me. And over here on the left, you'll see some pecan trees. And way over there on the right, you see some metal buildings. Well, this actually is one of Auburn University's agricultural extension services. Yep. Back in the day, you see a lot of students come out here. Now, you may see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And folks, that should be something concerning to you. And I did some investigative reporting on that in 2019. The number of people involved in farming is just hardly anybody anymore. And there on the left coming up, more pecan trees. Those are younger ones. And what they do, they put in all kinds of different varieties. They keep track of them, they study them, and they see which ones produce the best, which ones don't get disease, you know, all that kind of stuff. So we're almost back up here to Rifle Range Road. So we're going to head off back in there. And, well, I turned there. That was a little too early. But good thing I let that guy who was wanting to mate with the back of the Focus get on by me. Here we are. Well, you can tell old Mr. Tom don't drive as nowhere near as much as he used to. Lord knows I don't. Now I know some of you are going to say, well, you haven't been out since February or March. Hey, I was right there with you for many a month. And I know when I'm out here in the car, there's still a risk. The car could break down, but I got my cell phone. I can call my son. He'll come get me. Now, there's some risk in that too. But I got masks, I got gloves, you know, I got sanitizer. If I need it, I got a full-blown hazmat suit in the trunk with a gas mask. So y'all have already seen this. The only reason you've seen it the second time is because I want to go back and show you that plantation. And I used to know the guy who owns this land and the plantation and that farmhouse and everything really well. But once I got out of the Historical Society and I wasn't involved in the reenactment anymore. Now, I didn't play a soldier. They wanted me to. They wanted me to be on the Confederate side, but the way they do it is you got to have some lineage to whichever side, and as they all knew, even though I did have family that fought for the South, the mass majority of my family fought for the Union. Now I'm going to go pull in here, and hopefully, because this is normally where you park, and I'm going to take y'all and I'm going to try to get a shot of that big old plantation house. I worked on that myself years back. I mean, they've been remodeling it. Money's been available for a long, long time. Yeah, I did some projects up there for 2 years. Everybody unbuckle. We'll step out for a minute. Take a gander at it, okay? We'll just leave the car running. Take no chances. You never know when no focus will lay down on me. So I think you can probably start to see it there. Try to zoom in a little bit. How about that? There it is up on top of the hill. And that got the massive columns there on the front promenade. The porches are lower on both the left and right of that main promenade. And they go around each side, if I remember correctly. And I don't remember if they go around the back. And you know, they've done some grading work. Been planting grass, got some pines planted there. Now those larger pines, they've been there since I can remember. And then here's one of the battlefields right in front of you. And it's pretty glorious. And they'll have 900 to 1,000, sometimes 1,200 reenactors come out here. And they got cannons, horses. And a lot of people that come are also, you know, they reenact as doctors and nurses and shopkeepers and all kinds of stuff. And you can see out there, that there white farmhouse right there with the 4 chimneys. That goes back to the same time period. And you can see the weathered building behind it. Of course, there's a pole barn back on behind it. But yeah, they'll have the battles here and up in the hills there. They got camping areas, and that was the thing that amazed me about these reenactors. They don't bring no modern stuff. Nope. Apparently, if you're a reenactor, you got to have all period stuff. And when I used to be involved in this, oh, I had it too. No, I didn't have any of the soldiering stuff or camping. I had a period suit, like you see old Mark Twain wear. I mean, it's very similar. My wife found it somewhere. And I had the hat, similar to Mark Twain's. This belt. I had period shoes, stiff leather, and they were darn uncomfortable. I mean, right down to the socks, the underwear, the long johns made of wool, the shirt, the tie, everything had to be period. They're real serious about it too, they are. I was surprised. When I'd be down there with them, you know, talking at their camps, you'd think they might have one of them propane, butane heaters, camp stoves, or lanterns. Nope. Everything would be period. I know that last year I was involved, we had an early cold snap. If I remember correctly, the reenactment's around the end of November. I may be wrong about that, but you can look it up. Civil War reenactment in Tallahassee, Alabama. And it was frigid. And I felt so bad for them. Well, I was here that early morning to help out with the reenactment. Of course, was invited down to one of the camps, Union Army. And even down to cooking utensils and what they cooked. They kept it as close as they could get it to back in the time period of the Civil War. I respected them for that, because I wouldn't have done it. It's just too darn cold to have been out there. But this is a beautiful place. Now, in all honesty, was there ever a battle here? The answer to that is no. Now they call it the Battle of the Armory. Because another interesting fact about Tallahassee is we did have a Confederate armory there in town that built what's known as the Tallahassee carbine, and it's famous. And there's only 2 or 3, maybe, well, less than 5 that have survived. And had it got into major production early enough during the war, it could have changed the outcome. Not saying that was a good thing. I'm just stating that as a fact. And that. But there was no battle there either. One story goes that the Union Army, they were looking for the Tallahassee Armory. And one story I've heard, and this was the one I used to hear back in the day, was that they came upon an Indian and he actually pointed them in the right direction. But they thought he was lying. Another story goes that there was a small battle down by what's now the CSX rail line. It was Atlanta to Montgomery, or Montgomery to Atlanta railroad back during the Civil War and even before. And they captured a Confederate soldier. And of course they thought he was lying too. And he was misleading them. So they wound up going in the wrong direction. So as the story goes, there was a regiment up here that was here to protect the armory, and they had dug in. And they were waiting on top of the ridge line up above the main trail that came up from the rail line up along the river. But it never happened. But there is a lot of history in this old town. And I'm not going to make it political. What happened, happened. And the Civil War was a long, long time ago. But what's left behind from that time period, and you see that plantation house up there, that's from a time long different. And times change. Sometimes for the better, and sometimes for the worse. As we may be seeing in our times right now. Only time will tell. That old tree there, been around a long time too. She old and she's scraggly. Stories she could tell. Well, we're gonna get on back in the car, and Lord knows, y'all gonna have to come over here one day when it gets warmer. We'll have to get the old Focus cleaned on up. You can see where the kitties been climbing all over it. Yep, sort of like the kitty castle. But such is life with the kitties. And across the street there's some more of that nursery. And that, we'll walk over here and see what the name is. There's another sign, block the prison. Well, like I say, possibility of that happening, said, done, and over. It's happening. Now, all I can hope, and everybody can hope, is it's a good thing. And that. So, that says Growers 3 AM. Quality, fine quality ornamentals. Yep, wholesale only. Oh, maybe I could talk them into cutting me a few. Maybe if I do a YouTube video, give them a little exposure. I'm not much of a social influencer. Well, it's time to load her back up, y'all. Finish up your pictures and everything. Put up your drinks, your snacks. Oh, here's a nice little feather. Whenever I find one, I always keep it. Occasionally you'll find an eagle feather, or blue jay, and a crow. And, you know, my great grandfather always told me, if you find a feather, make sure you pick it up, because it was left for you. It's a sign of good luck and good fortune. So I shall. I have a small collection of them. So let's load her back up, folks, and head her on back into town. One last shot of the past. We'll head her on down the road and get back in our time. Ooh, look at that sky though. Crystal clear and bright blue. Thank you, Lord. It is appreciated. Well, y'all, hope you found that somewhat interesting. That's about all the old man can do for you today. And that I don't mind you leaving a comment, but let's leave the politics out of it. You know, I'm not very political. What happened back in that time happened, and it just wasn't here in the South, by the way. And that's where I'll leave all that. And I almost didn't want to show it, because I know some people get just all rowdy about that time period. You know, I've said before, I should always bring some water on these rides. I run my mouth so much that, you know, my throat gets a little dry. Yes, it does. And I actually thought about it one moment before I came out to the car, and then I forgot about it seconds later. Yeah, old age is real, young'uns. It's coming for you. Read up on what you can do to prevent it and put it off a bit. They say there are things you can do. I've done some of them. I can tell you, ain't had a whole lot of effect, or at least I can't tell. Well, maybe I'd be even worse than what I am now. Who knows? That place there on the left, they build all types of portable buildings. You know, like the ones you see on YouTube, shed the house, all that kind of stuff, cabins. Yep. It seems everybody wanting a tiny home. And one of the popular ways to do that now is take, you know, portable building, what used to be the shed, tool shed, garden shed, and all of that, you know, back in our day. And I mean, they make some pretty nice homes out of them. I gotta admit that. My daughter, Ashley, she's all into that tiny home thing. She wants to build her a tiny home one day. And I hope she realizes that dream if that's what she wants to do. Now I'll tell you a secret. Ashley and Davy came down to surprise me this past Sunday. Yep. And all they were going to do was drop off some Christmas presents that they had got for me, you know, back Christmas. in 2020. Now, I hadn't seen them since Christmas 2019. But they weren't going to get close. They weren't going to come in the house because, you know, they've been self-isolating since the beginning of this. They just wanted to see me. Let me see them, and I'll be darned. I had laid down on the couch to watch a movie, fell asleep. And they knocked, they said. And the doors were all unlocked. I keep them that way. I don't want nobody to break my door down. You know, you come in and you cause any harm or go rowdy, you know, you might get shot. Well, most likely you would. But they didn't come in, and they said they tried to call my cell phone, but it was on the kitchen on the charger. I was in the den, so it was getting late. Ashley was anxious about being out and being on the road. So her and Davey, you know, loaded back up and they headed on up. Of course, I woke up. They'd been gone about 30 minutes. And I see I had a missed phone call. Well, basically 3 of them. I saw it was her, and I called her. And we talked a long, long time. And many of my close friends know I haven't spoken to my daughter in quite some time. We had a difference in opinion. I don't know if you can see that gas price there, $2.34. Like I said, they're real proud of that Shell gasoline. Well, we're $1.30 now. I was gonna whip into McDonald's here and get the Kitty Krew some chicken McNuggets. Why? Because I had a viewer. Another one. Her name's Frances. And she sent a little money and a little card and note. And she said, you know, it was for chicken McNuggets for the Kitty Krew. So, it's supposed to be cold all day today. And cold tomorrow. And for several other days. We ain't supposed to really get back warmed up till next Thursday. Now we are going to get up into the high 40s, low 50s. And that, you know, I'm not a big fan of these dual drive-in lanes. Because you get up here where they merge, people always have a problem figuring that out. I'm not sure if that's the same in y'all areas. Now I think I'll get the Kitty Krew a 20-piece chicken McNuggets, get old Mr. Tom double cheeseburger. That is my favorite burger at McDonald's. Now I know some of you are going to say right now, well, you can get the McDouble. It's cheaper. It ain't the same. It don't got that extra piece of cheese. That's important. I've had the McDouble. Side by side. The classic double cheese that goes all the way back to my childhood. It's not the same. I don't care what anybody says. Now, as you can tell, McDonald's is quite busy, which I find highly unusual at 1:30 in the afternoon. Now, I may try to sneak out, you know, later this evening, a couple of those McNuggets, if, you know, Trixie and Gracie don't catch me. But for the most part, just like the last chicken, it'll go to the Kitty Krew. Trust me that. Maybe I'll be able to grab the camera and sneak a little video there for y'all. Maybe put it on the end of this video. Never know. Now you all can't see it, but they got some really pretty violet and white. I think those petunias down there. They're simply beautiful. Hey, yeah, I would like a 20-piece chicken McNuggets.
What sauce?
That hot spicy mustard and double cheeseburger.
Anything else?
Small Coke, please.
What else for you?
That'd be it.
5.
Thank you, sir. since my throat's dry too, I got me a small Coke. You know what, folks? That's all we should ever be getting is a small. I know you can get that there big old large mega one and get them free refills. I won't even go into why that's so many ways wrong. And I'm guilty too, back in the day, getting it too. But for years now, if I'm gonna get a drink, a cold drink, I get a small. You know, that's all we had back in the day. That was called a regular Coke. And the large one back in our day, when they finally did offer it, was probably not even up to a medium these days. And I think he said $10.55. Got to put my mask on. I know they in the building, but we closer than 6 feet here. Always be careful, folks. We don't think about these.
20 piece with hot mustard sauce, double cheeseburger, small Coke.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that'll be $10.65.
$10.55.
Hello, what's in this?
There you go, ma'am.
35 cents.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Yep, it was $10.55. Thank you, ma'am. And there we have it. So now we got to do the old hand sanitizer thing, you know. Just in case. Take no chances. Well, the kiddies will love those chicken McNuggets. And Lord, it's been first part of last year since I had me a McDonald's double cheeseburger. Woo! You know, most of y'all can remember when McDonald's had burgers and cheeseburgers, fries, one size, cold drinks, milkshakes, and if I remember correctly, that was it. That was the whole menu that kicked off McDonald's. I think in the very beginning they had hot dogs too. And I know they tried hot dogs again. I really don't know why that didn't take off, because, you know, there are actually hot dog places. Not here in the South. That is one thing most people can still do. They can still boil a hot dog. Even though old Mr. Tom showed you on that Red Hot video, better steam. See this fool right here? He was coming up there, he had to be doing 60 miles an hour. Now where's he gonna go? Now one day, and I'm thinking it'll be Sunday, I'm gonna take you up for a tour of our old downtown area. You know, what's known now as the historic Tallahassee Historic District. Yeah, well, once upon a time, it had it going on. Yes, it did. Well, we're back to God's country, as I call it, the east side of the river. Took all precautions, sanitized my hands many times, wore my mask, limited my exposure. Of course, I could have limited it a lot more. I know some of y'all gonna say that. By not going to McDonald's, but First thing I'm gonna do is get them chicken McNuggets on inside. Don't y'all be stealing none out of that bag. That's for the Kitty Krew. Stop it. You know, you just gotta have eyes all around your head. Put them back. There were folks in the back seat trying to sneak out some of the Kitty Krew, some chicken McNuggets. How dastardly is that? Then wait till we can get the house. I got some Brunswager in the fridge, some bologna, ham, turkey. I mean, Lord, y'all can go on inside and make you up a sandwich. I even got some Fritos. Y'all saw me buy them. Boy, I've been metering those Fritos out like they were made of gold. Whoops. That's pretty aggressive speed bump. I was not prepared for that. Y'all remember Mr. Roberts? And he would sing that there song, you know, it's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Well, I'm not going to sing that song. But as far as I'm concerned today, Wednesday, I think it's February the 3rd. It truly is a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Oh my Lord. Do y'all know how long it's been since I had a Coca-Cola? Woo! It was all the way back when we went up there to Auburn. I can't even remember how long back that was and got them crystals. Y'all remember that ride? When I asked y'all to guess where we were going and what we were getting, none of y'all guessed right. And what did I do? I bought like 40 cheese crystals. I still got a few of them wrapped up in the freezer, because I take them out like they made of platinum. I only eat one or two at a time. We just zig-zagging through the neighborhood. I like to do that sometimes. See how my neighbors are doing. Now, I don't always take you when I get in the car. Sometimes I go out in the car just to charge the battery some, because these modern day cars will run down a battery in a few days. They got way too much crap going on, even when the key's off. And I know some of you said on that there last little walkabout video that I did yesterday, old Mr. Tom was wheezing pretty hard. Oh yeah, y'all know I got COPD. And we all know this, or we should know, when it's cold, and you got that cold air coming in those old bronchial tubes, they close on up on you, they do. That's fact. You can look that up. And of course, if you don't have COPD, emphysema, and stuff of that nature, you probably don't wheeze. Howdy, sir. See, we wave at each other. I rightfully don't know him. He rightfully don't know me, probably. Well, maybe he does. Maybe he watches Deep South Bama, Mr. Tom. I run across some people here in the community from time to time that do. And they come by the house and wave too. But they've been watching long enough. They know, don't get out. Don't come up to Mr. Tom or come to the house. You know, except, you know, my favorite ones there, you know, all of y'all who sneak on into the house, darn y'all. Right around lunchtime, dinner time, and breakfast even. And I think y'all snuck in the other day during brunch. Now we got to get out in the nature while it's still cold too. That's the only time I truly love to walk in the woods safely this far south is during the winter time. That way I ain't got to worry about cottonmouths, copperheads, timber rattlers, diamondbacks. Yep. Or when I'm down wandering along the river, those pesky alligators. Which I will tell you move a lot faster than y'all know. I've been surprised by one years back. It sort of went like this. Ah! The only thing you could hear was my kids burning up the trail. Yeah, I got to get back out in the woods. And if y'all are good, and y'all have been good on this ride, now I'll say that. All except the ones who were trying to steal a McNugget. I mean, my lord. Like you ain't ever had a chicken McNugget before. You may wonder what I'm doing. I'm just, cruising around. And we're gonna head her on back now. And unless it rains on Sunday, which today being Wednesday, I'm gonna be at the house. Now I know you can hear a little more road noise right now. I got the window open. Enjoying me some fresh air. That's one thing about living in a little bitty town out here in rural America. The air smells a whole lot different, folks. I know that because I remember when living in the big cities. All you can smell is factories and car exhaust and all that and that stuff. Not here. That's one of the pluses of living in small town America. Well, we coming up there on the old home place. See how much trash here I gotta pick up? Yep. Fast food bags, McDonald's drink cups. I catch them doing it, I'll yell at them. And like I've said before, I'm bad to throw it at them. And it's been years since I had anybody brave enough to get out and confront me. Well, y'all, hope you enjoyed the ride today. As we went on out there and seen where the new mega prison's gonna be. Right outside my small little town here in the deep south of Alabama. And that, also hope you enjoyed going back in time, back to one of the worst times in American history, the Civil War. Suffering on both sides to a magnitude we have not ever seen since. We can't say we've ever seen the destruction, the deaths, the misery, and the struggle. Not even during the Great Depression, World War I, World War II. or any time since then. I hope we won't ever see it again. In my lifetime, my children's, or my grandchildren's. Only time will tell. I do want to thank all of y'all. I want to thank Francis again for sending the money there for the Kitty Krew's Chicken McNuggets. Got half of it left, so they can get some more McNuggets on another occasion. I went ahead and paid for my double cheeseburger. A little small Coke. So now we got to get on in there, get the chicken nuggets on in there, and Kitty Krew's, they like me to dice them all up for them. Got to get that done. And then get them back out here for the Kitty Krew while they're still warm. Get some diced up for Trixie and Gracie. So y'all, until I see you on the next video, y'all take care out there. Stay safe. And may God bless you, your family, and your loved ones. Till next, I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye for now. Oh, and Trixie, Gracie, Cleo, Spooky, Speedy, sometimes Elrod, and Magoo said to tell y'all hi and how thankful they are for everything you do for them too. Trix, y'all ready for some chicken McNuggets? Gracie, you ready for some chicken McNuggets, huh? Come here. There you go, Gracie. There's yours. Trix. Trix. Come here, baby. Come here, precious. Oh, quit being a curmudgeon. There's yours right there. Right there. What do you think? You don't want chicken McNuggets? Oh. You want Jack's? Come on. You don't want no chicken McNuggets? They used to be your fave. Don't turn your back on me. Your fans sent money just so you could have chicken McNuggets. Look at Gracie. She loves chicken McNuggets. Oh, you can be a camera hog, aren't you? Oh, you're gonna go back to your chicken McNuggets now, huh? Well, she had to come over there and do a cameo for y'all. Well, I'll go out to the Kitty Krew. I know they love them. Now, Gracie, don't drag them out. Don't drag them out on the carpet to eat them. Why do you do that? Trix used to do that. Trix, are you getting back at Daddy for bringing Gracie in and teaching her all the things that annoy me? Are you? Oh, and y'all see that nice pretty hot pink food bowl and water bowl? Yep. Judy sent that. She thought Gracie needed her own pink feeding and watering station. Well, there it is. Thank you, Judy. Now, you gonna tell Francis thank you? Huh? Are you? Are you gonna come over here and just eat Trix's to be mean? Papa Bert. Did you hear that? Okay, I gotta go. Oh, Trixie's gonna eat Gracie's that she left on the rug. And Gracie is gonna eat Trixie. Now that's something. Of course, Trixie, when I came into the kitchen, was over there eating the food of Gracie's bowl. Oh my, they're a mess. Yep. Let's take some out to the Kitty Krew. Speedy, you better get on down here. Come on, Speedy. No, you just want some lovin's first, huh? You want some lovin's, Miss Cleo? Oh, you do. I missed you for morning chow. Was you asleep underneath Mrs. Davis's shed? You just had... Now look at you go out there and grab one Where Spooky got it out of the bowl. There you go, Spooky. Speedy, you don't know what you're missing. I don't think Speedy's had chicken McNuggets yet. I can't remember. But you can see Cleo and Spooky. They loving on them. Francis, thank you again. Thank all of you out there on the channel and in the community in our virtual neighborhood. Like I say, you do too much for me and the Kitty Krew. But we're always most thankful for your generosity and your kindness. And may God bless you all.